What's up guys, welcome back for another Yugioh Pro Duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup, the last two matches here in the group stage, here in Group H. The big, like the four winners of the previous Cross-Banlist Cup edition or editions are paired up against each other, right? So the first deck that won the first ever Cross-Banlist Cup a couple of years ago, we have Artifact Shaddolls. It's paired up against, I think, one of the best decks here in this year's Cross-Banlist Cup being Monarchs. Mega Monarchs, extra deck Monarchs. But then again, Mega Monarchs is, a very hard to stop deck. The normal summon is quite crucial, but you know what I mean, right? As soon as a deck is like Pantheism, to get the draw engine going, it's very hard to stop. So definitely like one of those decks with a super high ceiling. So which deck has the advantage? I kinda agree here with, the people votes, or the people voting is the strength of Shaddolls being, I'm looking at, the slight OTK potential with, Shadoll Fusion, Shadoll Fusion, multiple constructs, and Winda, the power card, but I'm looking at Monarchs or Mega Monarchs and I see that, well, triple Stormfort, double Erebus, the extra deck I'm looking at, Pleiades. Those are, easy to go to cards for a deck like extra deck Monarchs, and those are easy outs against those power cards like Pleiades to prevent, like Construct from triggering, or, the Shadoll Fusions from triggering and getting back the regular fusion cards from their graveyard. So Monarchs going first. This is a delicious opening hand. I personally can't ask more, to open with Mega Monarchs. Again, a delicious opening hand. Erebus sending back, not really sure which card I send back here to the deck, but I have Stormfort 8 already. Already went for the prime here in defense position, an extra wall, I guess an extra defense. It's fine, I have multiple potential Monarch spell and traps to banish. The Dengoseka, I guess it's cute, I can't, Stormfort as soon as it hits the field, but that's fine. Eventually lose it, or he needs to force out, or like quote unquote waste a foolish burial effect from the Shadoll construct here to Dragon, and Dragon popping the set. But it's fine, again, having multiple Pantheism, a couple of draws if needed, still have the double tribute summon left in my graveyard with Idea and Eidos, and of course another potential Stormfort ready to hit the field. So going for the extra deck summon first, as I can finish off the duel. Pleiades was fine, any rank 5 exceed would have done it, but this is so strong, especially having access to the extra deck summon first, and after that you go for your double tribute summon with Idea and Eidos. Again, so strong. Going second this time, he opts to go first. That's something I found interesting, but I think, going first, okay, I guess that's fine, but giving me the father here, the set, can be something like Hedgehog, might be a bit iffy. So again, going second this time, and my opening hand is delicious. I mean, the Red Layers is one of my at least Red Layer is one of my favorite cards ever here in Mega Monarchs. It's so versatile, either Tribute Father or, a Tribute Monster on its own if it really needs to be. Or if you really need another one, right? So no extra deck summon, because I think I used my Stormfort during my own turn, but that's fine. You don't want to give the opponent a free extra deck summon. I think the best one here is Pleiades, or maybe Durandal. Durandal might also be fine. But anyway, so Pleiades bouncing back something, not really sure what I used. I think bouncing back the unknown cards, not really sure. But again, having the extra tribute summoning or the extra normal summon due to Brilliant Fusion, superb card. Again, the Red Layer getting another Red Layer back from my deck, or at least from my graveyard back to the hand, and then, got the Erebus Surge, I think, and easily, super easy, you can go for a game here in this situation. So now, I go first, indeed, and yep, that's what you want, right? If you're playing against Mega Monarchs, against extra deck Monarchs from 2016, hope, let them go first and hope they brick. Again, that's the big weakness of this deck. Even though this deck has like a super high ceiling, the chances of you bricking is just, the deck basically can lose to itself. As soon as you have like Pantheism into Prime, Idea, etc, it's hard to lose with this deck, but if you don't have that, it's very hard to, it's basically impossible, and at least that's what you see here. I don't think this deck runs too many back rows, but yeah, even though double 8 or Erebus, yeah, that's what you get, right? So I think going second this time, I really want Shaddolls going first. You know, they only have 5 cards, and Construct isn't really that strong. Winda also is not that strong against something like Monarchs, but it's fine though. So I already immediately see the Pantheism, that's good. Search, at least use Tenacity to search out Prime just in case, but eventually opt to drop the Majesty's Fiend to prevent, you know, the Winda from searching. I'm not really sure if the, you know, the Shaddolls deck does have like instant outs for Majesty's Fiend, you know, Moraltech is not an out. Maybe Sanctum if I'm able to destroy Sanctum itself, but Moraltech is not an out as I mentioned before. And yeah, Geki is one of those out, like always. If you played during the format, or if you ever played like Vanity's Fiend, Majesty's Fiend, your opponent always has the Dark Hole or the Raigeki during their turn, like story of my life. It's always the case, but it's fine. I'm like +6 or +7, not really sure, but again, having the extra tribute summon here with the Idea getting something, well, the Idea Shaddolls, right, giving me the extra normal summon / tribute summon, Idea getting back the Stormfort, I think, and the Rebus sending back the Shaddolls Construct, yeah, not give my opponent the extra search, or, you know, getting something back from the graveyard. The Prime Monarch for some extra defense, Denko Saka is not live, because he has a set, right, and I believe that's Sanctum, not really sure. Yeah, not really sure about that. Could be a Moraltech as well. But going for Kurez again, getting the extra draws, getting rid of the return, drawing Twin Twister. More than enough here. Couldn't ask for more. So Twin Twister getting rid of the dead. Brilliant Fusion indeed. I could go for something like Durandal to refuel my hand, right? Sending back the Lazuli and then potentially flip over. I think I have a set Brilliant Fusion. I think so. But again, that wasn't really needed, so a well-deserved winner here, with Monarchs just far too strong. Going first, going second, and if I look at, you know, the Shaddolls decklist, there aren't really, you know, like hand traps or effect negations or big effect negators like in today's format, and that's just in all advantage, or in advantage for yeah, for extra deck Monarchs. So for this particular group, one match still remains here with Clownblade versus Ravine Rulers. Extra deck Monarchs is already sure that it will take the first place, but the next matchup, last matchup here in the group series, Clownblade versus Ravine Rulers, like always, feel free to leave your prediction right. Again, so an extra duel just to prevent spoilers, going first, I think, and of course, like opening with Lazuli, opening with Brilliant Fusion, so potential 2 dead cards, but with the other 3 cards, I'm luckily able to get the engine going. It's not important, just an extra duel, but you know, getting at least only having access to 3 live cards and getting the engine going, that's good, of course, gets me started. So searching Erebus, it will eventually bounce back, and top deck Tenacity, that's good. Searching out return to potentially get another search, right, or force out any spell and trap destruction from the opponent. That's cool. Dragon pops the return, that's fine. I still have a potential extra deck summon ready, I think, or did I already use the Prime? Oh yeah, Tribute Prime here in this case, so no extra deck summon, no reason to potentially make my opponent's Shaddolls Fusion live. You don't want that, especially because we got a sign that there weren't any monsters in his hand, or, you know, he did not set any. So yeah, that's a weak soul charge, going for Construct. He can't go into the battle phase, so this again should be my duel relatively quickly. There is always a potential chance of him having another Sanctum, right? Sanctum, Ignition, you know, Moraltech, Beagletech to pop something, but you're going to the battle phase and, you know, Pleiades immediately is an out to the Shaddolls Construct without triggering it, and there it is, Beagletech into Moraltech only pops 1, and that's not threatening at all. I can't go for Stormfort either during your opponent's turn, and then Seka is a cute top deck. It blocks my set. Stormfort, I think. Is it Stormfort? Or is it the Prime? Yeah, it's indeed the Prime Monarch, but it's fine. You can't really go for a game with the Prime Monarch in my graveyard as a potential father here, or an extra wall, again preventing my opponent from, you know, for potentially going for a game. And that's all I need. There is no tribute summon here, but this is game with, I think, yeah indeed, going for Volcasaurus, popping the Michael, and, you know, going for Gaia Dragon, and Gaia Dragon attacking over defense, and I think that's exactly game, if I correct, at least if I calculated that correctly. So next matchup, we have Clownblade, one of the winners from the previous Cross-Banlist Cup editions, versus the other Titan being Dragon Rulers, well, Ravine Rulers indeed. So again, like always, feel free to leave your prediction which deck is going to win this matchup, and eventually we'll move on to the top 16 playoff. So again, top right corner, feel free to leave a vote or leave a comment down below. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace